Here is a psychological fact you aren't ready to hear. Your life isn't being ruined by karma, the government, or toxic people around you. It's being ruined by the thing you have locked in the basement of your own psyche for years. You think you are your thoughts? No. You are exactly what you refuse to know about yourself. Carl Jung called this the shadow. Psychologists define it as the sum of all your hidden desires, fears, and unacceptable traits. And once you understand how it works, you will finally see why you act like a victim, why money runs away from you, and why your relationships turn into living hell. Most people live in the illusion that they are good. They wear a mask Jung called the persona. But the psyche is a closed system. Energy doesn't disappear. Everything you've repressed, rage, sexuality, selfishness, ambition, doesn't die. It goes underground and starts controlling you from the dark. But here is where it gets even darker. The holier you try to appear on the outside, the more of a devil you become on the inside. Jung warned us, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." You tried to cut off your roots, and now they are rotting your foundation. Here's the painful truth. Your brain chooses comfortable lies over painful integration every single time. You are not in control of your life. It is run by your complexes, which you conveniently call fate. You are a puppet of your own unconscious. And as Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And here is what nobody wants to admit. Ignoring the shadow comes with a price tag. The bill doesn't arrive immediately, but the interest rates are lethal. There are 10 horrifying consequences that are dissolving your reality right now while you think you have everything under control. This happens because the psyche craves wholeness, not perfection. Here is what the revenge of your shadow looks like. Listen closely. Consequence 1. Projection. You see enemies where there are none. Your mind thinks, "I'm not jealous, they are jealous of me." But reality is different. When you refuse to own your envy, aggression, or greed, your psyche vomits these qualities onto others. You start hating people for the very traits you forbade in yourself. Are you surrounded by idiots? No. You are surrounded by mirrors of your repressed stupidity. This makes you paranoid and destroys any chance of intimacy. Consequence 2. Energy bankruptcy and chronic apathy. It takes a colossal amount of psychic energy to hold the door shut against the monster in the basement. You aren't tired from work. You are tired because you are 24/7 holding the defense line against yourself. Your libido, your life force, it's all down there in the shadow. By cutting off the shadow, you've cut the fuel line. You become a nice, but dead inside human being. Consequence 3. Neurotic collapse or possession. A spring cannot be compressed forever. Eventually, the fuse blows. These are the moments when you are beside yourself. You scream at your child, you drink until you black out. You do things and later say, "That wasn't me." But it was you. That was your shadow breaking loose and hijacking the body. Jung called this possession by an archetype. You become a slave to what you repressed. Consequence 4. Loss of creative potential. We are used to thinking creativity is light, but true creativity is born in chaos. The shadow is the source of spontaneity. By trying to be correct, logical, and polished, you kill your inner artist. Your ideas become bland. Your work becomes a template. Geniuses always have access to their darkness. Mediocrities only have access to social etiquette. Consequence 5. Psychosomatics. When the body screams for you. If the mouth is silent, the body begins to speak, and its language is disease. Repressed aggression turns into ulcers or hypertension. Unwept tears become asthma. Unexpressed sexuality becomes skin disorders. Your shadow will find a way out. If you don't let it out through words or actions, it will exit by destroying your cells. Consequence 6. The toxic savior. This is the trap for very good people. You try to save everyone, please everyone. But deep down, you expect a reward and recognition. And when you don't get it, you turn into a tyrant. This is the passive-aggressive shadow. You help not because you love, but because you want power and control over others through their gratitude. It is the worst kind of hypocrisy that rots relationships. Consequence 7. Living someone else's script. Loss of self. Terrified of your unique, inconvenient nature, you dissolve into the crowd. Jung called this psychic inflation, or dissolving into the mass mind. You want what everyone wants. You buy what everyone buys. You lose your individuality. You become a statistic without a will of your own. A perfectly obedient cog living an empty life. Consequence 8. Moral degradation disguised as virtue. It's a paradox. The people who scream loudest about morality often have the darkest closets. History is full of saints who turned out to be sadists. The brighter the light of the persona, the blacker the shadow. By not admitting your capacity for evil, you become defenseless against it. The most horrific crimes are committed by people convinced of their absolute righteousness. Consequence 9. The midlife crisis as a crash of illusions. Around age 35 or 40, the shadow comes to collect the debt. Everything you ignored in the first half of life bangs on the door. Your successful career suddenly feels meaningless. Your family irritates you. You realize you climbed the wrong mountain. This isn't just depression. It is a rebellion of your soul against the tyranny of your ego. If you don't open the door to the shadow now, you will spend the rest of your life in bitter regret. Consequence 10. The unlived life. This is the most terrifying consequence. On their deathbeds, people do not regret the mistakes they made. They regret the things they did not do, the risks they didn't take, the words they didn't say, the desires they strangled. The shadow held your potential, and you left it to rot. You betrayed yourself for safety, and in the end, you realize safety was an illusion, but the wasted life was reality. If this triggered you, good. That means you needed to hear it. Your discomfort right now is a sign that your shadow is still alive. It's moving. It would be worse if you felt nothing. That would mean you are already dead, just not buried yet. Jung said, "I'd rather be whole than good." Wholeness is the acceptance of your darkness. If you want to break this cycle, start with one step. Stop trying to be perfect. Start being real. Here is a mental trick that actually works. For the next week, catch yourself the moment you judge someone else. Stop and ask, what part of me wants to do exactly that, but I forbid myself? Find that trait in yourself. Greet it. Admit it. Yes, I can be greedy too. I can be cruel too. Only when you own your monster do you become safe. Until that moment, the monster owns you. Integrate your shadow. It is the only path to real power. It doesn't matter how heavy your shadow is. It doesn't matter what you find in the dark basement of your mind. The shadow wants you to stop. It wants you to freeze and fear. But you are here to do the one thing the shadow hates the most. Keep moving. If you are ready to walk through hell and come out the other side, subscribe. Prove to yourself that no matter how dark it gets, you can still go.